Now, when someone is resting outside, a white rabbit could run by them with pink eyes. I don't know, do rabbits have pink eyes? Maybe. Could look pink even. So that's not necessarily the beginning, but let's see what happens next. And then, the beginning of fantasy is gonna start very soon. And let me tell you something. Once it starts, it goes so quickly. So when you go down a rabbit hole, usually once you start asking questions, or once you start getting someplace where you didn't expect to be, a lot of times it goes really quick. What's happening is unexpected, and the same with the pandemic, right? We going down the rabbit hole of 2020, and everything that's happening is just quick, crazy. It's hard to keep up. It's hard to make new. It's hard to know exactly how to keep people safe, because it's just stuff is happening so quickly. So I think this might be the beginning of going down the rabbit hole, but there was nothing so very remarkable in that, nor did Alice think it so very much out of the way to hear the rabbit say to itself, oh dear, I shall be late." When she thought it over afterwards, it occurred to her that she ought to have wondered about this, but at the time it all seemed quite natural. So obviously rabbits don't speak. That we know for sure is 100% fantasy. So the fantasy has started. The rabbit hole is coming. And even Alice knew that that's not, that doesn't happen. But at the time, it just seemed kind of normal. But when the rabbit actually took a watch out of its waistcoat pocket and looked at it, and then it hurried on, Alice started to her feet, for it flashed across her mind that she had never before seen a rabbit with either a waistcoat pocket or a watch to take out of it, and was burning with curiosity. She ran across the field after it, and fortunately was just in time to see it pop down a large rabbit hole under the hedge. So again, very fantasy. Took a watch out of its pocket. Rabbits don't have watches or pockets. In another moment, down went Alice after it, never once considering how in the world she was going to get out again. And this, my friends, is what happens when we go down the rabbit hole. This is the rabbit hole. And this is what has happened in 2020, right? We have just ended up down a rabbit hole. We don't know how we're going to get out again, but we are just going to keep going. So, the rabbit hole went straight on like a tunnel for some way, and then dipped suddenly down, so suddenly that Alice had not had a moment to think about stopping herself before she found herself falling down a very deep well.